Hey guys, Cdrama Invasion here. We're just moving things around as I figure out where's the best lighting. I think this spot is nice. I do have to film with like the door in the background, but hope you can hear me. Let's do Guardians of Dafeng review. So this drama has 40 episodes starring Dylan Wong, Tian Shi Wei, and there's so many other cast members, but it was one that started off silly. I always write down my first impressions, but the first 10 or so episodes, it's quite similar in terms of comedy, and I know comedy is subjective. It's definitely more on the goofy side of things, but eventually it became like one of my favorite dramas. And if you were gonna tell me going into this that this was gonna be one of those dramas that ended up with such a good long-lasting impression on me, I would not believe you, because I would just think that it's just a fun time, and there's nothing wrong with that. It came out during New Year, so it made sense. There was so much family aspects that was done well, very goofy at first, and later on though you do fall in love with these characters. I think it's a combination of joy of life in terms of that vast world. We got different levels of politics, and it does get very complex later, especially with the king character. Very similar there, how like in Joy of Life, Fan Xian and the king has this tense relationship. The king is very like unpredictable, and there's a lot of different like factions fighting for what's right and wrong. And that's the same situation with the male lead here. He really grows into his own, and in a world where there's just a lot of fantasy, I was surprised to see very cool, like real and deep character development from him. And in terms of tones, you will be surprised that it balances these two things very well, like the serious consequences and all of the things that you love from your C-dramas with politics. Like all of those things are there later on, and the first few episodes are just for you to get to know these characters. There's so many characters, but they all come to play, and there's like a lot of epic moments, friendship, bond between them, found family. If you love that, I love it. It's giving Dashing Youth vibes, especially with how he ends up with a bunch of different powers, and there's like different guardian numbers, so 1 to, was it 9? I think it was 1 to 9, and they don't know each other's faces, so that's really fun, but they have this like connection where they end up working together. So all of those characters reminded me of Dashing Youth, how they revealed every single new character type with different style of martial arts, different personalities that were very memorable, quirks as well. So we got all of that going on, and every single female character in this was well written because they were independent, memorable, including the side characters. So every single side character as well. I really loved this so much, and I wish that we got more episodes. And the only reason why I'm not gonna give this a 10 out of 10 is because till now we have not gotten the confirmation whether or not there will be season 2 with the same cast. And Dylan Wong's character is what makes this so good. His connection to everybody. At first you're like, oh, it's a typical situation where he has plot armor, where like everything goes well for him. All of the popular people love him, like everybody with power backing likes him every time he gets like another level up. And eventually that does slow down. Episode 15 is when you understand how small he is in this world. No matter how much people like you, you cannot go against the royal family, and that's just treason, right? So you start to get little seeds and little things here and there, such as a case where a woman is being SA, and everybody is just looking the other way because that person, the person doing the essay, is just untouchable, except our male lead couldn't take it. And even though he's risking his life on the line, he stands by it, and he doesn't wiggle his way out of responsibility, which I really enjoyed. And he even says like, there were so many good moments in here that he is willing to sacrifice himself because of his moral compass. and it wasn't done in like I'm a hero way. It was done in everybody knows that it's the right thing to do, but our hands are tied type of situation, and they end up explaining that world, that complexity very well. So love that. There were so many funny moments though, like obviously humor. There's jokes for me that didn't land either, but I eventually loved the hype boys, like the trio of the Guardians. Those guys were hilarious. We got so many funny moments with the family. At first they were like very overreacting to me, but I got used to it, and I feel like this one is perfect to binge. Definitely binge it in chunks, like larger chunks. You'll enjoy it so much. Everything makes sense, and I was like back to back. This and Moonlight Mystique, we're getting dramas that are very well written in terms of details. We circle back to whatever that's introduced. Even if it's like a running gag, a joke or something, they do come back to it. And I applaud the writers for that, because it's very difficult to do. And also editing, because it's not just the writers, not just the director, it's really everyone together. And the team was perfect, because imagine they do all of this and then sometimes post-production gets rushed, they cut out like way too much and it doesn't make sense. That's not the case here. Everything makes sense, and there's lots of moments that exceeded my expectations. And a lot of people said female lead character is a little bit annoying, or like they didn't love her. I really liked her. I thought that yes, the downside was the situation with her pretending to be the eldest princess, and then he got confused who he was serving. She's like the younger princess, but there's this whole confusion that could have been cleared up, because clearly he is a very smart man and everybody knows who they are. So it made no sense for me that took forever to be resolved. But the romance is quite healthy. It's not at the forefront, but when it's there, I thought it was really sweet. They are super cute, very much like pure, innocent, sweet romance, but there's just moments that really hit, because when he's stressed, or like when he thinks the whole world has this like pressure on him to do these missions, she comes and she just gives him a hug or says something really sweet, and that's their whole relationship. Really, you don't see a lot of it, but I love it. It's pretty wholesome. Like I said, loved everything. Honestly, perfect casting. I want to see more of the family. I would love to do a spin-off. Every single character is so funny, but at the end of the day, they do tie together to the male lead. So it makes sense. And it's one of those dramas that surprisingly because of these goofy moments and stuff, and when the consequences hit, or like when things get angsty and crazy, you're just really in the feels. It really hits you, because all the time you see them goofing around, but at the end of the day, their loyalty to each other is unmatched, and it's just really sweet. Yeah, I love the brother sister, the cousin duo, the second couple. Everybody is so much fun, and I want to see more of that like child actress in the family. She's so adorable, and she's pretty savage too. It's really funny. Shout out to some of my favorite side characters. I love Mr. Wei. He is like one of probably the largest side character. Okay, final thoughts on Guardians of Dafeng. Definitely recommend it. Giving it 9.5. Like I said, there's some obviously unresolved things like Joy of Life. We know that they're just starting it out. Also, what a crazy place to end it with. I mean, definitely perfect. We worked our way up there. I'll talk about it right after I give the rating. And yeah, overall 9.5. Highly recommend it. But if you're kind of like me, where your memory is kind of bad because you're watching a bunch of things at once, I recommend like once you get news of it, like when season 2 is airing, then watch it like a month before it airs, so you can binge everything, and I bet it's gonna be great. Yeah, I might even do a rewatch. It's so enjoyable. There's so much more about the humor that I appreciate after finishing the series, so like I want to go back, and I think I'll enjoy my time with it more now that I love the characters already, and just seeing them goofing around. Maybe there's some like gags. There was like so many one-liners and stuff that I didn't catch. So yeah, can't wait to do that whenever season 2 is coming out. Of course, I'll update you guys on Cdrama news. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and check out my previous reviews for more. Okay, spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, bye. Okay, so where to start? I have so many like notes, honestly. I'm just looking to the side to look at my notes, and one of the most satisfying scenes is episode 24 when Mr. Wei smacked the dude on the opposite side for insulting Shu Qian when he supposedly died, right? I thought the death scene was done really well because even I was like, I know he's gonna come back, but it was better because we get to linger with the different reactions. And I think Mr. Wei just not showing so much emotion brings a lot there. Like, he knows everything, but at the end of the day, like, yes, he is biased. He loves Shu Qian, and just to have him smack that dude for disrespecting him after he passed away, yeah, love that. There were so many moments that, okay, I'm just skimming through. F33 is gut-wrenching. I think that's the one where the minister was there and they were eating the bowl. Like, oh, when you're eating and crying and talking about your life story, like, that scene, those types of scenes always gets me. I don't know why. Like, it's just so tragic, you know? And that character, that minister, was very similar to Dylan's like personality. That's why he connected so hard with that character, because we saw how with the woman that was being SA, he risked his life. He said, yeah, it's my fault that, you know, I basically almost took out this character because he was bullying a woman. And everybody was like, yeah, we know, but we can't. But he did it anyways. And it was similar to this minister, where we know you will live longer. It's smarter for you to lay low. Like everybody says, take your time, lay low. Like, there's no rush. You can get revenge later, but in that moment, like, how can you? Like, those emotions are so complicated and so well written and portrayed. Okay. Overall, the ending was really well done. Obviously, seeing him have like the mental breakdown was accumulation of all the stories so far and his breaking point, right? It's the turning point for the tide, and it seems like he might become the emperor, or he might end up, well, he has to be in a power position. He has to play the game, and he basically committed treason. All of the Guardians is on his side. So what will come next? Is it just going to be a huge civil war? The acting in that scene, the emotions, excellent, superb. His best work to date. Yeah, that's all I really have to say, but I was really going through the emotions with the final 3 episodes. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I obviously gushed so much about it. I loved this one, and it was also so refreshing. Make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.